This is it, basically. These are all the pedals, and this is kind of maybe more than are usually around. So the pedals that I've used for, I mean, the better part of 3 decades, it's an MXR Phase 90, which I only use for the beginning of Killing in the Name, you know? Like it's like one. Other than that, it doesn't get turned on. That's it. It's got like, it's a one, it's like a pinch hitter, it's like a specialist. It comes in. The EQ pedal I use exclusively for boost on songs. So it's from back in the days of playing clubs when you couldn't trust the sound man to know when the guitar solo was going to come. I'm like, I'm going to take that out of your hands. I'm going to be loud when the guitar solo comes. You don't have to worry about that. I'm going to take care of that. So it's set flat and up for that. Then I have 2 identical delay pedals. One is for, just so I don't have to change the settings so much during the show. One is just sort of the long delay which accompanies all of the, you know. For your astral pleasure, right there. And then the other one has like, there's only a total of 3 settings between these two, and this one sort of goes back and forth between this ping pong delay, which
have any issues with having like notes not sustaining for the finger tapping, because sometimes guys will juice that with a boost pedal to not have the notes
I mean,
drop out.
I always use the only gain is just the gain from the head, you know, which is pretty substantial. I just kind of smacked down on it pretty hard there.
Cool.
And then there's the whammy pedal, which is kind of one of the things that really helped me break out of the niche of sounding like a bunch of other players. I never could really wrap my head around rack gear, and I bought one piece of rack gear and I couldn't even figure out how to plug it in, so I thought that's probably not for me. So when they had a harmonizer in a pedal, I thought, well, perhaps that's something that I could make work. And then I found that in addition to the harmony settings, which, you know, include like the fifth, which is heard on songs such as Know Your Enemy, like that. It had sort of a bonus little thing was the octaves, the 2 octaves up, and that I would just like took great liberties to create sheets of white noise that could be manipulated in a lot of different ways. For example, during the song Bullet in the Head, which goes. And so it really was a matter of just looking at the guitar in a different way and like, okay, I've got a toggle switch and I can make some noise, so maybe something can happen. And then on a more melodic front, in the band Audioslave, where we had more chord progressions and sort of prettiness going on, a more sort of soaring solo in Like a Stone went like.
Now I got to go back to the octave, the 2 octave up. Is that something that you would use like on the very beginning, shortly, like You're the Boomerang? in terms of that.
Oh
that
yeah,
real
sure. I don't
harshness.
really remember how to play that one, but yeah.
No, but just in terms of
yeah,
like
one
that's
like sheep.
yeah.
And go, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to.
Yeah. It was a nice sort of arrow to have in the quiver to be able to make these kind of, dog's ear piercing, sheets of white noise.
That was just a personal thing because I'm like, if I ever get Tom Morello, I'm gonna ask him that.
Yeah.
So what else is that? Kind of your three different.
Yeah. So then then there's the short delay, which is written down here, so handily, and that I would sort of mess around with around like that to give you the slap back delay, which provides some options.
Cool. And how do you use the wah?
And so the wah, I mean, I rarely
filter.
use it in. I mean, sometimes I use it in like the sort of traditional wah, sort of traditional shredding, bluesy, wahing ways. But I also found that it provided, it helped sort of in the scratching area. So when I scratch, I could click on the wah, depress it all the way, and it makes for even more of kind of like a white, noisy, and then you can. Something like that. And then another sort of curious wah thing that happens is I found that this is just some sort of crazy electronic magic that occurs. If you take the original Digitech whammy pedal, you turn it on, you set it to one or two octaves up, you turn it on, don't depress it, just leave it there. Mm-hmm. You turn your wah-wah pedal on, like that. Is it on? You turn it on. You unplug your guitar. You make a noise with that. You touch anything to that, and all of a sudden, craziness happens. You don't even need string. You don't even change your strings when you do that. Your strings will last forever.
Just pure experimentation. And the last pedal here is
sure.
You made a remark in the interview you did with PG about a month ago was that this is your version of taking this pedal, putting it in your pedal board, is to take back sound.
Yeah. This is the Digitech Space Station, which was like sort of a somewhat crappy pedal that they came up with in the aftermath of my first two records, where they seem to have gone through the sounds of those records and tried to put them in a pedal they could then sell to people without calling me about that.
And so you're stealing them back.
Is this on? Hey, Brett, is this on? It's on. Yeah. It creates a lot of like extra noise in the line, so we have it like completely separated, and
Gotcha.
it's only we hit like the Megatron button when it's time to. Yeah. So what it is, I only use a couple of the settings because I find most of them are pretty unusable. But there are some that are pretty cool. Which is, am I on here?
Definitely sounds like you.
Yeah, exactly. That's built in. You don't have to. That'll save you years of practice. Just plug that thing in.